Hello and welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Dani Gibson here at Dick Jerardi, and it is Preakness Saturday. So come out to Parx Racing. Join us for a great day of live racing, family fun. Gates are already open. They opened up at 10 o'clock. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But obviously we know the Kentucky Derby winner, Golden Tempo, will not run in the Preakness, but we do have a field of 14. Who can we expect?
I found this one of the most confounding races I've ever looked at, Dani. I told you I spent an hour and a half looking at videos, and I was more confused when I finished than when I started. I understood the Derby perfectly, and if the people haven't heard yet, the non-bourbon, my pick ended up having a fractured a knee, and that's why he didn't win. I was convinced he was going to win. He had surgery, will not be running for the rest of the year, but man, there are so many possibilities here. I can't even tell you how the race is going to be run. Yeah. I mean, Taj Mahal is the local hope, right, undefeated for Brittany Russell. Actually, on videos, the horse I liked the best was Ocelli. I thought he ran unreal in the Derby. The move he made from like the 3/8 all the way to the 16th pole, but he hasn't won a race yet. How am I picking him? The hell we did, half to Senor Buscador, the Saudi Cup winner from back in the day, and Napoleon Solo is the only Grade 1 winner in the race. Iron Honor, a great. I found, you got any feel for this at all? There's
a couple of horses that I like, and of course we're going to give our picks later in the show. And you know, we have 3 coming back from the Kentucky Derby. Ocelli, you discussed, Robusta, and Incredible, and Great White. He didn't make a start in the Kentucky Derby.
He was trying to. He almost got in the gate, and then he flipped. So you have 4 that technically were in the field, 3 that actually ran, and the only one that ran really well was Ocelli. And I think Incredible ran pretty well. If you watch the video, he was right there at about the 8th pole. He just couldn't keep up with the top 2.
Yeah, and he's going to get jockey Jaime Torres, who won this very race with Seize the Gray. But Brittany Russell is very strong down at Laurel Park. It's her home track. Sheldon Russell, her husband, will be aboard. And she's going to try to make history, right? Another woman to win a Triple Crown race.
Jenna Antonucci won the Belmont a couple of years ago. Now Cherie DeVos. So the Triple Crown for women, if Brittany Russell can pull it off with Taj Mahal. I spoke with Brittany and also with Chad Summers, who we know from around here at Parx. He's got that Grade 1 winner, Napoleon Solo.
Every time he's raced, he's progressed. You've seen a progression in the afternoon. I've seen a progression in the morning. And I mean, look, he has a beautiful pedigree. He has a pedigree. He's a nice, classy horse. He's supposed to do this. So it's all positive things that, you know, give us hope that this is where we should be.
Could be a lot of speed in this race. How do you see it unfolding? Are there, is there a plan?
I mean, I think the draw is great for us, other than, you know, Pretty Boy Maya on the outside. You know, Ricardo Santana is going to have to kind of work to get over. That horse is showing a lot of speed, you know, stretched out to the mile. We ran against him last time in the starter. So, you know, it'll be kind of dictated by the inside horses, but I think obviously from the 14, you know, we're going to see what Ricardo does, and then we'll make our plan. Since the Wood, every work has just been better and better and better, and he really looks like he's happy over here.
And of course, Dick and I are going to give our picks later in the Preakness, later in the show, and hopefully we can try to make you some money in the second jewel. But we do have some great undercard races at Preakness. We'll be at Laurel Park this year, and Shane's Wonder, the PA-bred, PA-sired, undefeated horse, is going to run in the Chick Lang Stakes. Look, he's going to face a lot steeper competition, but do you think he's up for the task? I sure do.
This is race 7 on the card. I love his outside post. I love the fact that there isn't that much in the race other than obliteration. He's going to be your big favorite. He's 6-5 with Jose Ortiz, won the Hopeful, second in the Saudi Derby, first race since Saudi. He's got 90 buyer speed figures. That's a little scary. Steve Asmussen, the trainer, well, he's only been in this race 18 times, Dani. He's won 6, and he's been second 6. But I think Shane's Wonder outside, I like the spot, no speed outside of him. We'll see, but obviously it's a significant step up in class, but I don't think he's, on numbers, he's no worse than the rest of the field with the exception of obliteration.
Here with jockey Michael Sanchez, who's going to be aboard Shane's Wonder, who's been just sensational in 3 starts. How has he felt in the morning, and what do you feel going into the race?
Oh, great. I think we're really excited. He worked really like we wanted to. You know, this is going to be his biggest competition that he ran yet. So we wanted to make sure he does a really nice workout without taking everything out of him. And he looked impressive. He felt impressive. He came out of the work really well. So we're really happy and looking forward to the race.
You're going to be riding at Laurel Park, a track you ride regularly at. How much more does that add to your comfortability going into the race?
Oh, much better, because you know, once you ride for other tracks for a while, you kind of get to know the timing, turns, everything right. So it gives you more confidence. So hey, we expecting for a big race of him. We know it's it's gonna be a tough race, but he's ready. He's running like a really good horse, and like Freddie saying in the owners, we don't know what we have yet. He's been winning so easily, great timings. So hopefully we can step up now and go for the next level.
He has too much class. It's 3-4-3. I think in Saturday 4-4.
Michael worked him on Saturday, and it was a very, very nice work, and he came out of the work perfect. And Freddie, his trainer, said he's ready to go.
How exciting is this?
It's very, very exciting. Running on a big day in Maryland when all the big name trainers are there. Very, very exciting.
And look, I think it's really helpful that Michael rides regularly at Laurel Park.
Sure.
He even said he has the timing down, and he's just a confident jockey. He's teamed up with Uptown Charlie Brown for a graded stakes win with Dixie Serenade, and I think they're going to do it again and make Parx proud.
This is the right spot to try to see what's going on. And again, on paper, there's only one horse that's faster, and how's the obliteration going to be after the long layoff from Saudi?
Well, he's not the only PA bred we'll be rooting for. Kappa Kappa is going to make her return in 2026 in the Skip at Stakes, and she's going to return with Hall of Famer Johnny V.
She is, and last Friday night out at the Inn at Mendel Hall, she was the Iroquois Awards Pennsylvania Bred Horse of the Year, and deservedly so. And yeah, she makes her first start in 2026. And the horse to beat here is a horse named Moto, a horse from Texas, really fast outside, has a 97 buyer figure, but you gotta love Kappa Kappa. I mean, if she's as good as she was at 3 and improves to 4, this is the first of a long run this year, maybe culminating in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint on Halloween.
Here with trainer Butch Reed, you're going to send out Kappa Kappa. She's going to start her 4-year-old campaign in the Skip at. How's she's doing coming into the race?
Coming up tough, just great. We couldn't ask her to be doing any better. Had a real nice breeze just the other day, and came out of it fresh and happy, and we're looking for a good effort.
She's going to team up with Hall of Famer Johnny V. What's that connection been like, and what's the confidence you feel with the Hall of Famer up there?
Oh, it's great. We're so fortunate to have him there on that weekend. That's one of the reasons we decided to go, actually. But, Johnny V and I, we don't get together that much, but I think we're 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 in our last 4 efforts. So it's been a good connection so far.
Well, Kappa Kappa had an outstanding 3-year-old year. She was actually named Horse of the Year for the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders. Talk about that accomplishment for the team.
Yeah, it's quite an honor. We were so happy to get an award like that. But, she's a solid filly. We lightly raced last year, so we think in the long run that's going to help her, and she's coming to the next one fresh and happy.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
All right, well, we know Butch and the whole team are really excited, so we'll be rooting on Shane's Wonder and Kappa Kappa. And we have another Parx horse that will be running in the Jim McKay turf.
Yeah, 4 Harp is in race 12. I thought his race off a layoff was sensational. Now Paco Lopez is going to ride, and this, of course, is out of Caterina Disco. I mentioned the awards, the Iroquois Award. She was the Broodmare of the Year in PA. Of course, she's now down at St. Ober's Farm in Harford County in Maryland with Sue Quick and the whole crew down there. And at some point, you, myself, and Bruce, we're going to head down that way and do a story on the great Caterina Disco.
Looking forward to it, and good luck to those 3 PA breds that are going to take on the Preakness Undercard Stakes. Well, we're going to head to our first break, but later in the show, we have some great racing from Parx, so stick around.
Ponder and Green, he leads the way. Red Zone runner, Cool Million, they chase second and third.
Some call you the Sultan of Slots. Others, the Baron of Baccarat. The rest, just Meemaw. I'm tapped in, I'm tapped in. But no matter who you are, you know there's always another way to win on the Bet Parx app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours. Take those pearls, Meemaw.
We've got your new Ford right here at Chapman Ford of Horsham. Looking for a new Bronco Sport? We've got them. Maybe a new Escape? Got plenty. Want a new Explorer? We have them too. Maybe you have your eye on a new F-150. Huge selection for you. If it's a new Bronco you've wanted, you are in luck. How about an EV? The Mach-E and F-150 Lightning are both in stock. And with great lease terms and low APR financing available, we can help you get the new Ford you want. Chapman Ford of Horsham.
Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Go Racing. Let's get to some local racing, and this is a really good one. We look at Monday's 9th race. It was our Parx picks, 6 furlongs. A few in for that optional $50,000 tag. We'll see some go to some new barns after the race, but they're running for $52,000. And Winning Time, the stakes winner, is our favorite.
Yeah, third race off the substantial layoff. He was my pick last week. I saw him going right to the front.
Gordian Knot, who beat him last time, second choice. Michael Sanchez riding for Jamie Ness.
$637,000 in the bank for Gordian Knot.
And Gordian Knot is in for the $50,000 claiming tag, so we'll see what happens. Here's the race.
Winning Time under pressure. Coming up the inside, Factor, You and Me In, snatches the lead. To the outside, Winning Time right in between Awesome Flay. Then it's back to Sows. He's trying to close that gap in fourth. Gap to Windsor Gold to his outside. Gordian Knot, 22 flat the opening quarter. Now they head into the far turn. And Factor, You and Me In. He's shaken clear. Winning Time has his sights set on him. He's not giving in just yet. He's in second. Sows, he's in third, passing Awesome Flay, who's lost momentum. Windsor Gold, Gordian Knot at the back. Winning Time continues to close that gap, trying to chase down Factor, You and Me In. He hits the top of the stretch with the lead. 44-4 for the half. Factor, You and Me In. Winning Time continues to run on to his outside. Factor, You and Me In. Game. Winning Time to the outside. They are well clear of Windsor Gold, who's making up ground late. But Factor, You and Me In is resilient with the 16th left. Factor, You and Me In. He fights on. Winning Time to the outside, but it is Factor, You and Me In who.
Factor, You and Me In does get the win. Jockey Abner Adorno, Hugo Padilla, and this horse was lightning fast. Winning Time broke so fast. Paco made a decision that he did tell Kate, look, maybe I shouldn't have rated him. I should have used his speed.
He caught a flyer. I mean, he was a length in front coming out. That's not Paco like normally you just go to the front. But look, Factor, You and Me In, great ride, as you said, by Abner, and Hugo had him ready and just all the way. Now, Winning Time never could catch up.
And Gordian Knot did close, got third or fourth, but he was claimed. He'll go to Bobby Muska's barn where Jack Armstrong soaks.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get to Tuesday's 9th race. This is a PA-bred allowance race. Horses are going to go 2 turns, 1 mile and 70 yards, $41,000 on the line. And the favorite is Red Zone Runner, coming off that disappointing effort in the Wood Memorial.
Yeah, that was so bad you couldn't even believe how bad it was. He's obviously much better than that. If he can come back to his race in the City of Brotherly Love, that's going to win.
And Ponder and Dream, the 3-year-old homebred for our good friend Craig Donnelly of Caravan Stables, second choice. And notice this, Michael Sanchez took off Red Zone Runner to ride Ponder and Dream.
Yeah, and if you look who Ponder and Dream has been running against, it was Shane's Wonder. And I mean, nothing but good horses around here, so you knew this was a talent.
Ponder and Dream, he leads the way. Red Zone Runner, Cool Million, they chase second and third. To the inside, beginning to advance slightly. Drum roll, please. Then it's back to Check My 6 and Roan Burgundy. The order remains unchanged with a half mile to go. 46-2. They head into the far turn, and Ponder and Dream, he has the lead. Drum roll, please. He's gotten the cue. He's now in second. Cool Million third. Red Zone Runner, he's excusing himself and dropping back to the outside. Check My 6. He moves into that fourth. Now the third spot, and getting in gear from off the pace, Roan Burgundy. Ponder and Dream opens up again over Drum Roll, please, as they head around the far turn. A quarter mile to go. Ponder and Dream has led from the jump. Now he's trying to take them all the way home. He hits the top of the stretch, and he is under urging, being asked for more. Ponder and Dream. Drum roll, please. He's in second. Check My 6. All out in third. Roan Burgundy in fourth, on the scene late, but they're not catching Ponder and Dream. He has more left. 16th left. And Ponder and Dream, he's going to take them gate to wire.
And Ponder and Dream was just awesome. And Michael Sanchez kept telling them, stretch him out. And to do that on his first time going long, I mean, he had so much left in the tank. And notice, he's a 3-year-old beating older horses, so really excited for Craig.
Yeah, couldn't have been more impressed. Red Zone Runner, man, I don't know what's going on, but that was not the horse we saw in the City of Brotherly Love. He ended up finishing last.
Yeah, looking forward to him reclaiming his form. But here's more with winning owner and breeder Craig Donnelly. Pondered, you dreamed, and you won.
I'm very proud of him. And I tell you, Michael Sanchez has been telling every time he's run, when he's sprinting, he said, you got to get this horse to go long. You got to get him to go long. I said, Michael, we haven't been able to get him in a race. He finally did, and he said he'll break good, and he always does. Thank you very much. You told me to take him back to last, though. I don't know. I know, Jock didn't listen to you.
I know.
They never do. Yeah, Jamie told him to get him back to last, but he didn't do that.
Now let's turn our attention to some national races. Up to Belmont at the Big A. This is the Grade 2 Ruffian Stakes. Fillies and mares going the one-turn mile, $200,000. The favorite is Inefficiency.
It's always the favorite. It's Klarovich, it's Chad, it's Pratt. And that's why the horse was the favorite. She really hadn't done that much more than a lot of these other fillies in here.
But we are rooting for Irish Maxima, who's sent up there by John Service, Frankie Pennington aboard.
Yeah, and she's all speed. Her really good races are certainly good enough to win this race. And man, 6-1 was quite the bargain.
Irish Maxima tugging at Frankie Pennington wants to go. Irish Maxima 22.74, a quick opening quarter mile. Frankie Pennington trying to get her to settle. She's up by 2.5, almost 3. Ultimate Authority is stalking towards the inside of back in third. Inefficiency out wider, that's Dry Powder. And Kazushi Kimura in between horses. Here comes the run from Dazzling Move. At the rail, Eunomia towards the back end of the field with the trailer, Cassiar. Irish Maxima trying to settle still, now starts the sprint, and 45.02, a half-mile time, blistering fractions from Irish Maxima, who's alone, is up by about 6 or 7 lengths on Eunomia, who's moved towards the inside. Ultimate Authority is back to third. Inefficiency's got to do better. Towards the inside, it's Dazzling Move. Dry Powder's trying to rally on, and Cassiar. Irish Maxima has a quarter mile left to go and still has an 8-length advantage. It's Irish Maxima who went 109.22 for 3/4, trying to pull this off in the Grade 2 Ruffian, and they are trying to run her down, but Irish Maxima with a furlong left to go is not coming back to the field yet. Irish Maxima front running. Here comes launching Cassiar, also Inefficiency starting to roll inside the final 16th. Irish Maxima almost there, wins the Grade 2 Ruffian.
And Irish Maxima gets the win for Irish 3 Racing. They are so excited. Look, Frankie did a great job. She was really keen. He said he tried to rate her a little bit, and she didn't want any part of that. And he told me she has 3 speeds. Going there, gone.
Yeah, no, she's something. And look, I loved how Frankie wrote her, just open up. And I talked to John Service the next day and wrote about it for Let'sGoRacingParx.com. And John and his wife Sherry were actually in Charlestown, West Virginia. Sherry's mom had recently passed away, and they watched the race in between the funeral ceremony and heading to the burial site. And John said to me, he says, look, there was just no way she wasn't going to win this race for us and, you know, for Sherry's mom. So check out the story. And Irish Maxima is now the 5th all-time leading earner for John Service. Number 1 through 4, Smarty Jones, Jostle, Catherine Sophia, and Jaywalk, all Grade 1 winners. So that's something. And the Irish 3 guys, the first horse he bought for them, Irish Cork.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just doing great. And that was John's 35th ever graded stakes win, and it's a great backstory. Check it out on Let'sGoRacingParx.com. And by the way, on their way home from West Virginia, they stopped in Annville, Pennsylvania. Why would they do such a thing? To go to Equistar to see the great Smarty Jones.
Well, John got to see an old friend in Smarty Jones. Pretty fitting this time of year as we get ready for the Preakness today. But we did catch up with winning jockey Frankie Pennington after the big win with Irish Maxima. Here with jockey Frankie Pennington, who just came off the huge win in the Grade 2 Ruffian with Irish Maxima. Take us through your trip. She was awesome.
Yeah, you know, she was so quiet in the post-parade, warming up really nice, and she was going very good into the race. John had her very ready, and obviously when they opened the gates, she was ready, and she was dragging me all the way around there, and she went quick fractions early, and she still put all her heart into it and ended up getting the race done.
Yeah, I mean, to win at the one-turn mile, obviously her best distance is 7/8. What does it feel to be on a filly with that much talent?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it just makes your job so much more easier, and a filly like her who's so smart, and all she wants to do is her job and run and run and run, and to get one like that, it's very special.
All right, well, let's head over to Monmouth Park that's back racing. It was opening weekend. This is the Long Branch Stakes. 3-year-olds going 1 mile and 70 yards. And the favorite is Hedge Ratio, Chad Brown.
Again, Klarovich stable and Chad Brown, but we got Star Sweeper in there for our man Lou Linder at 11-1.
The 3-5 favorite Hedge Ratio, who comes off the turn. He's clear by 2 now. Star Sweeper's second. Bricklin, he's trying in third. 1 furlong to go. Hedge Ratio, the leader. Star Sweeper coming back at him from the inside. Hedge Ratio, 16th to go. Narrow lead, but here's Star Sweeper. Star Sweeper continuing to fight with Hedge Ratio, but Hedge Ratio got him.
Star Sweeper was really game fighting in second place with Eric Consell for Lou Linder, but Hedge Ratio did get him with Samuel Marin, who was he was the leading rider last year. He's going to be so dominant again, but got to give a lot of credit to Star Sweeper.
Yeah, he ran great, and I'm tired of Chad Brown. Stop winning. Let Lou Linder win. Get out.
I think Lou Linder's going to have a lot of fun with Star Sweeper this year. Well, we're going to go to another break. When we come back, we're going to go to the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Banquet. Lots of big news from there, plus best of the rest.
My team at BetParx Online Sportsbook and Casino has a great offer for new users. Download the BetParx app, open a new account, and get up to $50 back on your first sports bet if it doesn't win. Plus, you'll get a BetParx bonus box with 50 BetParx coins and 50 bonus spins on the BetParx Collectum online slot game. For details, visit betparx.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's go racing. Our friends from the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders had their big awards night, the banquet down at Kennett Square. It's a great night. I've been before, you were there, honoring all the best PA breds that dazzled this year.
Yeah, no question. And my man Glenn Bennett had himself a night. Now, he didn't necessarily breed these horses, but he owns a ton of these horses that were winning awards. That night we talked about Kappa and Mylata. I could go on. You know the deal.
Yeah, and he's a big breeder as well.
He's getting into it. Yeah. I called him on Sunday. Said, you know about this? He said, oh, yeah, Mark Reed called me to let me know. But yeah, he had a night.
Well, there was a very special guest speaker, Larry Colmus, and you have a close relation to him.
I do. When I was first getting into the business, I was hanging around the racetracks in Maryland, getting in the newspaper business, and Larry was in high school. His dad actually worked the sound systems at Timonium, and Larry used to call on the roof, practicing making calls. And who knew that all these years later he would become the guy that calls the Derby? And Larry had a great story about his very first Kentucky Derby call in 2011 when Animal Kingdom won it for Grand Motion. Here's Larry.
I'll never forget it. When Animal Kingdom won the Kentucky Derby, and I was calling it for the very first time. And as soon as the race was over, I looked down, because back then the press box at Churchill Downs was on the level right below where I called the races. And the first person I saw, who is in the room right now, by the way, is Dick Jerardi. Dick and I go way back. He was in the Maryland press box. He's a Maryland bred himself. He was in that press box listening to me calling races for practice since I was a 17-year-old kid. And I looked down and I saw Dick, and I started bawling. Like, I just called the freaking Kentucky freaking Derby. And this guy, who has been with me the whole time, was the first person I saw after Dick. It meant a lot to me. I know you were just standing there, but you're a cool dude, and you do so much for this sport, and big fan of Dick Jerardi, folks.
And we're big fans of Larry Colmus, the voice of the Triple Crown and the Breeders' Cup, and for NBC, and just great to have him be the guest speaker. And PA Breeders always has a great guest speaker. What a great night for them.
Yeah, it's great for me. Again, I've known Larry for more than 4 decades to see him having the success he has, and it was great that the Breeders had him out there as the guest speaker on last Friday night.
Well deserved, as we say. Well, let's see who had a good week this week at Parx Racing. Here's our Jockey of the Week. Congratulations, jockey Michael Sanchez, who continues to shine at the top of the standings with another strong week in the saddle, making him our Jockey of the Week at Parx Racing, sponsored by NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. Let's see which trainer had success this week here at Parx Racing. Congratulations, Irving Rodriguez. He had 2 wins with a successful week for his small stable, making him our Trainer of the Week at Parx Racing, sponsored by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Time for another Turning for Home family photo. This is Roman Empire, retired by her friends with 10 Strike Racing. He had 5 wins. Him and his adopter Victoria are going to take on the Thoroughbred Makeover in October in Kentucky. They already did an overnight camping trip in Virginia, and they're happy to report that Roman has a fantastic head on his shoulders and he loves to camp. Now it's time to go to Best of the Rest. We begin with our PTHA Trophy race. It was Tuesday's 7th race. Starter optional claiming $25,000, $32,000 on the line, 6.5 furlongs, but they have a dominant filly they have to contend with in here.
More Than Grace, 3-5, third consecutive blowout since the claim by Michael Pino. Wins by 7.5. Danny, in the 3 races since Michael claimed, 23 length margin combined. Blowouts.
Michael Sanchez said she just plays with them and she just loves Parx. 3 wins for this connection, 4 wins here at Parx since she's come here. She's really awesome, More Than Grace. But we're going to go to our final break. But when we come back, we're going to give you our Preakness picks, try to make you some money, and stick around. We'll see you on the other side.
This is Parx.
This is how you roll. This is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parx, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
The Pennsylvania breeding program is the best program in the country. The Stallion Awards, the owner bonuses, also the restricted races and the stakes races for Pennsylvania breds. This year, 8 breeders are on track to earn over $200,000 in breeders awards, and 2 could hit the $1 million mark. We have the best program in the country. Take advantage of the fantastic program that we have.
Learn more at pabred.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, it is Preakness Saturday, and it's time for DJ and I to make our selections. All right, these 3-year-olds are going to go 1 mile and 3/16 over the Laurel track. We both really have no idea how this race is going to play out, but I'm going to go with Incredible, who was a late decide to come for Riley Mott, but he has Jaime Torres, who won the Preakness before. Of course, it was at Pimlico, and I'm going to use him in Crupper and some kind of exacta.
Yeah, and for the people that don't know, Laurel's a 1.125 circumference on the dirt track, unlike Pimlico and Churchill, which are mile tracks. So this will actually start at the 8th pole. It's a pretty quick run to the first turn. I have absolutely zero confidence in what I'm about to tell you, unlike the Derby where I felt very confident. I'm picking Iron Honor just because it's Pratt and it's Brown, and he has managed to win the Preakness twice, but trust me, whoever you like is probably got a better chance than what I like. I got no idea in this race. It's very confusing.
It is wide open, as we like to say in horse racing terms. 14 horses, and hopefully some history is made. Well, check out Gate to Wire this week. Bruce and I sat down with Brian Sanfrantello from the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders, talking about what PA breds to look out for and the great night they just had with their banquet and a bunch of other cool stuff. And come out and join us today. We have live racing right here at Parx. Family fun. Watch the Preakness on the big screen. Root on Shane's Wonder, Kappa Kappa, 4 Harp. Do it with your friends here right in Philly. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that does it for us today, and we'll catch you next time on Let's Go Racing.
Off and racing in the Bet Parx Pennsylvania Derby in a flawless beginning, and seize the ray. He's going to seize the day in the Pennsylvania Derby. Here comes Torpedo Anna, a 16th left to go. Torpedo Anna, the Grizzly has the heart of a lion. Torpedo Anna gets the win, a narrow victory in the cotillion.